Hello, in this video we'll talk about functions with the branches and loops. Okay, so first let's think about it this way. Function is, as we said before, it's a block of statements that is part of the program itself. So usually we write some functions to break down the program, make it easier to read, make it easier to follow. But usually when some people, when they think about function, they think about the function is going to do some type of math calculations only and return the result, which is not true. Yes, functions, they do math calculations, but they also do a lot of other things. We can include branches, we can include loops as well. Okay, so let's talk about this using an example. Okay, so in this video I will give you an example as you see it over here, and this also file is included in your module. It's in the module. You can copy and paste it over there in your machine and then complete it. But as you can see from here, there is 3 different functions over here, and these 3 functions are not completed. Okay, however, we have the first function, which get numbers. This is a complete function. So this is, you ask the user to input 5 different numbers in one line, and then you put them into a list, and then you return the list. Okay, so the way this one works, it's not the scope of this video, so that's why I provided this function for you. We're going to talk about it later chapters. So here we use the split function. So basically you can look at it once we can look at it once we get to the strings, how that method works. Okay, and here we have 3 different functions. These functions, each one of them does something different. So this one will print all the numbers from the list that we pass to it, but what I gave you over here is only this line, so you need to print the rest of it. Okay, you need to complete the other the rest of this function. The second function prints odd numbers. I give you a list of numbers, and here I just wrote print odd numbers. And for the last one, print negative numbers, and the same thing, it does only negative numbers. So in order to complete these 3 functions, to make it possible to give you this output, okay, you need to use some type of branches and loops over here. Okay, so that being said, let me see also what do I have in my main. In my main over here, I have nums, which is the list. So I call the get numbers, which this function is going to ask the user to input 5 different numbers and return them in a list. And here I call the function which is not completed over here, which says print all numbers, and they pass to it nums. And then I called print odd numbers and passed to it nums as well. And I called print negative numbers and I passed to it nums. All these 3 functions here, they're going to print, they're not going to return any values. Okay, so let's go ahead and this is my goal. This is my target. I need my program to print out these results. Okay, these 3 from the 3 different lists. So let's go back again here and copy and paste it. I already did that to save time. And now you see this is the code. That's what you have. You see these 3 functions are not completed. I'm going to run it and see what is going to be the output. Okay, so it's going to ask me for numbers. Enter 5 different numbers. So I'm going to try to match the numbers that I have over here, which I have 599, negative 44, 0, and 12. And here's the output. You see, the output matches in terms of layout, matches here. You see everything up to here. Then I get the headers, but no results. No result because I did not finish these functions. Okay, let me go ahead and finish these functions, the 3 functions that I have, to make it possible to print out. Okay, let's pay attention over here. This first one over here, it prints all numbers. But take a look over here, printed them all in one line. So I need to be careful not to print the numbers in a separate line. I want to print them in one line. Okay, the same thing with numbers. Okay, let me finish this function here. Okay, all right, I'm just going to make this one bigger a little bit. Okay, here. So I have the list of numbers, but I need to print all the other numbers. Okay, well, since I want them to be in the same line, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say comma and equal. Okay, so that being said, whatever print is gonna come after that is gonna be in the same line as numbers. Okay, and now since I have a list, I'm gonna go through all the items in the list and print them out, but also I want to print them out in the same line. So I'm gonna say for I in my sequence, which is numbers, okay, do the following. Print. What I'm gonna print I and comma, I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be the same line. All right, so this one is gonna print, that's gonna make all the numbers from the list to be printed in the same line. Okay, but remember, if I stop at this line over here, what's gonna happen, I'm gonna show you actually what's gonna happen. This is very interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna go back again here and run this program, and I'm gonna input the numbers. I'm gonna say 5, 99, negative 44, 0, 12. Take a look what happened over here. Okay, it did actually print out the numbers exactly like I want them to be, but the second line, which is odd number, came in the same line. Why? Because the last number I printed, it said also whatever comes after me, put it in the same line. So to avoid this problem, I'm gonna say print just empty, just like that. And take a look at this one. Odd number is gonna go in the new line. Okay, let's go back again to the same numbers that I have. 5, 99, negative 44, 0, 12. Here you go. It looks good. Yep. Let's go again for the odd numbers. Okay, I need to write for the odd numbers. To write the odd numbers, we did so many times before odd numbers, so you guys know exactly how that thing works. So I'm just gonna say put it in the same line. Okay, and then also I'm gonna have a for loop. I'm gonna for loop for I and numbers. You can see that that loop for loop is pretty much the same. What I'm gonna do, if, take a look at that. Now I have an if statement. If I modulo 2 is equal to 1, that means it's odd. Guess what? Print. Print what? Print I and end space. So let's get the same line. After I finish the for loop, I'm gonna print one print statement just to avoid that problem. Okay, then you can run it and you're gonna see that's gonna work. Okay, for the next line or for the next function, which is print negative numbers, also I'm gonna say end. Okay, and now I'm gonna print the negative numbers. I'm gonna do the same thing for I in numbers if I less than 0. Do the following. Print I end. Okay, and here is the print for the new line. Okay, let me run the program and see if we get the same result in the box. Okay, so it says 599 negative 44, I think it's 0, 12. Here you go. This is exactly the same result I got from here. All right, try to practice that. You see, some of these functions, they have for loop, some of them they have if statements, some of them they have both of them actually. Okay, so practice this example and I hope you understand it.